Hi friend, in this episode we will see about the permit work. Episode 2, we will discuss about hot work permit. In hot work, we have two permit: contained hot work and open flame hot work. In hot work, which is taking place in any industry, we have to identify the hazard. Hazard is an unsafe or at-risk condition that, if left unmitigated, may become an incident. That is, if the hazard is present in the area where artwork is taking place, then we have to provide the mitigation for the hazard. Otherwise, an incident will occur definitely. Hot work is having two types of hot work. One is contained hot work and another one is open flame hot work. Contained hot work is a type of hot work. It does not create any open flame, spark, or any flying or dropping source of ignition. Contained hot work includes photography in an industry, whether it is petrochemical or refinery or gas industry, vehicle entry for any industry, use of IC engine, chipping of equipment, sandblasting, radiography to find out the welding, buffing, open junction boxes, non-intrinsically safe equipment, pneumatic wrench or impact wrench. This contained artwork, it does not require any firewatch or firebox, but permit is required. Open flame artwork is another type of artwork, which includes grinding, drilling, cutting, welding, torches or open flame, soldering, riveting, and heating. Open flame artwork, it requires at least one dedicated firewatch, an approved firebox, and a 15-meter radius inspection for flammable and combustible material. Now we can see where the permit is required. In any industry, the area is mentioned as classified area. The classified area is defined by the presence of flammable liquids, gases, combustible ducts or readily ignitable fibers or flames. And the hazardous classifications are divided into three classes: class 1, class 2 and class 3. Class 1 includes flammable gases or vapors which may be present ready to give flames and doing hot work. Class 2 is combustible dust which may be present, and class 3 is easily ignitable fibers or flames may be present. In all these classified areas, the electrically classified equipment should be explosion proof, intrinsically safe, flame proof and non-sparking. It should be made of this type of material. Otherwise, any hot work is taking place, then definitely it will lead to some accident or incident. The alternative source for working method is work location outside of classified areas like workshop, a way to reduce risk, and it will minimize the open flame artwork exposures, so it will reduce the hazards also. So artwork permit, even though it is required in open flame, it will reduce the risk in workshop. We will now see about the hazardous areas classification. Hazardous areas are classified into zones based on occurrence and duration of an explosive gas atmosphere, which is as follows. Zone 0 is an area in which an explosive gas atmosphere is present continuously or for long periods. This is the area where the hazardous gas or explosive gas is handled. Zone 1 is an area which an explosive gas atmosphere is likely to occur in normal operation. That is, Zone 1 area only in normal operation, hazardous or explosive gases will be present. Zone 2 is an area which an explosive gas atmosphere is not likely to occur in normal operation, and if it occurs, it will exist for only a short time. So Zone 2 is a safe area compared to Zone 0 and Zone 1, where the explosive gas atmosphere is very likely to present. And another hazardous area, we can see the combustible liquid is present. Combustible liquid or flammable liquid is a liquid which is having a flash point below 100 degree Fahrenheit, that is 37.8 degrees centigrade is the flash point of the liquid, that is called a flammable liquid or combustible liquid. So we have to be very careful while doing artwork in this hazardous area where zone is classified and where this combustible liquid or flammable liquid is present. And before artwork, it requires a lot of precautions. One of that is gas test. Gas test is a test of an atmosphere using direct reading instrument like gas detector machine, gas tester to determine oxygen, flammable gases or toxic substance concentration present in that atmosphere or present in that area. A calibrated direct reading instrument must be used for gas testing purposes. A lot of gas tests are available, and that will be used to check the flammable gas, toxic substances, oxygen content, etc. With a gas tester, which is having a lower explosive limit, which is divided into 100%. Lower LEL and UEL is lower explosive limit and upper explosive limit of any flammable or explosive gases. Normally, the gases are calibrated with methane, which is having 5% low LEL and 15% UEL. That 5% LEL is divided into 100%, which is measured in the gas tester as the LEL. The percentage is increasing and at 100% or increasing more than 100%, then definitely the flame or explosion will take place during hot work. So LEL is the lowest concentration of flammable or combustible vapor in air where a flash will occur in the presence of an ignition source. That is, if the LEL is present in that area where hot work is taking place, because if the line is not purged properly or not isolated and blinded, then the LEL or due to any leak, then the LEL is present and it is getting increased, and if any ignition source is present, which will be through welding torch, then definitely flame combustion and flame will occur. Concentration below LEL will not ignite. That is, if the concentrations are maintained around 30-40%, definitely ignition source, even it is available also, explosion will not occur. But on safer side, limitation for LEL is given as 10%. The percentage of LEL ratio of the measured vapor concentration of a gas compared with is known as LEL. That is, the 5% of methane is divided into 100%. Other atmosphere, we can identify as the gas tester is showing LEL greater than 10%, or toxic gases or fumes which is above the threshold limit value, and if the oxygen is less than 19.5% or greater than 21.5%, then it is taken as hazardous atmosphere. For hot work purpose or open flame, LEL is to be checked, and if it is less than 10% and 0, then we can do the open flame hot work with ease. This is a schematic diagram of the gas tester known as Siegel gas tester. It is a multiple gas detector in which you can see methane LEL percentage, oxygen percentage, hydrogen sulfide percentage, CO concentration in ppm, hydrogen sulfide also in ppm, and ammonia percentage also we can see in the multiple gas detector. It is a normally portable one, chargeable one also. You can charge it with a cable, and with the full charge we can remove the cable, and we can use it in the area to check the gas tester. It used to be calibrated in the calibrating cylinder before usage or daily. It should be calibrated before using. So calibration is a must before using the gas test daily. It's a routine job. So without calibration it may give some wrong reading. So gas detector is to be calibrated regularly or daily before starting the job with the sample cylinder, and then it is to be used. We can see the important condition or precaution for the hot work where it is taken place in a classified area or hazardous zone. As mentioned earlier, firebox is required. Firebox is required for all open flame artwork. It is made by fire blankets and it is to be certified by safety personnel before starting open flame artwork. Safety personnel will inspect the firebox and they will take the gas tester for the LEL and he will give certification and put this tag. Then only we can use a firebox as a certified one to take or to do open flame artwork. And 15-meter inspection also is to be done. 15-meter inspection is an inspection for flammable or any combustible materials within a 15-meter radius and a 2-meter vertical radius for the job site, even though the firebox is present. If source of ignition is there, that must be tested and to be checked in the 15-meter radiation. Surface within the inspected area must be free of flammable or gases or residues also to be checked, and any deposits also there also be checked. Otherwise, if it purging with nitrogen is proper before isolating and blinding, then it is a safe one to avoid the explosion or flame. So it is also to be removed if any flammable or combustible is present from that area. It should be inspected properly, or any ignition source or combustible or flammable source is there, then it is to be removed within a 15-meter radiation where at open flame artwork is taking place. It is to be removed and secured. And even though the open flame artwork is taking place in the firebox, it should be covered the combustible areas. Cover any combustible or flammable any line is present which cannot be isolated and cannot be removed, then this should be inspected and it is to be covered with the fire blankets so that the flame or spark provide coming out of the welding or the cutting area should not enter the combustible area or line. So it should be covered with the fire blanket. Also the vent area also to be covered. Any openings, drain or cable trees must be covered with the appropriate fire blankets. Even though any vent also should be covered. Because any passing or leaking is there, then it may lead to combustion and flame. So with all the vent and openings or drains should be also either plugged or to be covered with the fire blanket. Now we can see about another important definition: fire watch. Fire watch is a person is required for open flame work, and he must know the fire watch training, and he is very handy to use fire extinguisher. All type of fire extinguisher he should know how to use, and he should get the hands-on training for the usage of fire extinguisher. So fire watch is a eligible person with fire watch training and fire extinguisher hands-on training. And the important terminology, permit issuer. Permit issuer is the area or equipment owner, that is the operator who operates the plant. He must be trained with PTW, permit to work, should be having thorough knowledge in PTW, should be an authorized gas tester knowing the hazardous atmosphere in that area. Since he operates the area, he knows the hazard, whether it is toxic or explosive or flammable liquid or gas is present. So he should be an authorized gas tester also, trained gas tester also. And he must know the energy isolation, that is LOTO. He must know the LOTO also procedure also. Job safety analysis or task risk assessment also you should know, and you should discuss with the lead worker or permit receiver, and you should be able to give the indications, and that is to be mentioned in the JSA or TRA form based on the hazard present in that area. So permit issuer is a person who is issuing the permit, and if it is a supervisor is the authorized person, then he should be countersign the artwork permit. And permit receiver or lead worker is a maintenance technician from respective maintenance department. He should also must be trained in PTW. He must know the hazards in that area where he is going to work, and he must know plant emergency, and should know the responsibility to lead his crew to safety during emergency. That is the lead worker who is receiving the permit. The permit receiver from any maintenance department, he should know thorough knowledge of PTW. He should be trained in PTW, and he must know the hazard. He should be the having responsibility to lead his crew to safety during the emergencies. He also must be aware of job safety procedure. He has to prepare the job safety procedure, and he should be aware of the task analysis, and he has to verify the mitigation provided by the permit issuer or the operator present in that area. The plant emergency is a emergency. The lead worker must understand the plant emergency, that is during any alarm to any gas leak or any explosion or flame taking place in some other area, that the permit receiver or lead worker ensure all workers know the location of emergency equipment, including the evacuation route and assembly point. He should know, and he should lead the workers to assembly points, and he should go through the evacuation route only after seeing the wind direction. The lead worker must take personal responsibility to locate the nearest emergency or equipment and alarm facilities. Then he should proceed with the safe assembly points based on the direction from the safety department where emergency occurred. You can see the further condition precaution required for the artwork permit. Initial gas test must be done in the classified area, followed by the continuous gas monitoring during the open flame artwork job. So after proper isolation and lotto and purging of the line or equipment or vessel with the nitrogen, earlier is to be checked with the gas tester, and it should be followed by continuous gas monitoring during the hot work job, open flame hot work job. Portable gas detector is to be placed outside the firebox based on flammable sources and wind direction. So even though the firebox is provided, when there is open flame hot work is taking place in the running plant or a classified area, so it should be provided with a multiple gas detector for continuous gas monitoring based on the flame direction, wind direction, and based on the flammable liquid or gas sources nearby. It should be mentioned in the JSA, Job Safety Analysis or TRA form, and during the permit issue, it should be mentioned clearly and to be discussed in the toolbox meeting along with the mitigation. That is a gas tester continuous monitoring. How many gas tests are used to be mentioned in the JSA or TRA form to be mentioned in the permit also. So 1 hour rule, now you can see what must proceed within 1 hour of the initial gas test. That is, after the initial gas test, after the certification from the safety department, that water should be started within 1 hour. If the job is not started due to or delayed due to some other problem, again you have to do the gas test, and you have to check the LEL. If it is less than 10%, then only you have to issue permit, and it should be followed by continuous gas monitoring, and you can issue the permit to the lead worker. For container artwork in classified area must be carried out with intrinsically safe tools. That is tools which not producing spark, or which will not produce any sparks in the area. A classified area or hazardous zone or gases or flammable gases or flammable liquid is present, you have to use the tools, screwdriver or spanners or hammer, which are instinctively safe to work or to use in the classified area for open for contained artwork. For the open frame artwork, it's required low to for blinding photo and purging, then blinding, job safety analysis, and electrical isolation is required for purging with nitrogen as mentioned, and the initial gas test to be done for LEL, which is to be less than 10%, and should be followed by continuous gas monitoring with a multiple gas detector surrounding the firebox or open flame area. As mentioned, firewatch is a must for all open flame, and the person who is doing the welding or cutting should use proper PPE, and he should know the fire extinguisher usage. And fire watch also should know the fire extinguisher area where it is accessible, and you should know how to use the fire extinguisher for the finish the flame is coming because of the welding or cutting job in that area. You should use the fire extinguisher to quench the fire, and also the area should be present with a running water hose. These are all the conditions, minimum conditions required for a open flame artwork. The firebox is first to be erected, to be certified by the safety officer with gas test, and he should put his tag. Then we have to do the isolation, and for purging, blinding, everything. We have to cover the all the vent and drain line in the 15 meters radius, and continuous gas monitoring is to be done with the multiple gas detectors surrounding the firebox. Firewatch should be always present, it should not move out of the area, and fire extinguisher should be present, and the firewatch should be able to use fire extinguisher, and also running water hose is also to be present in that area where building or cutting is taking place. Also, after closing permit for the particular area or after stopping the artwork, open frame artwork, then the firewatch should be present at least a minimum 30 minutes, and we should check whether there is no residual source, ignition source, or any flammable source present in that area, welded area or cutting area. Then only you should leave the area or firebox. After checking the housekeeping also proper in that area, then he has to leave the area for safety. So lead worker should mention it in the toolbox or mention it to his fire firewatch to follow the rule properly. Hope you might have understand the conditions, precautions, necessity, and the area for open flame and contained artwork where it is permit is used. Do not forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Put your more like, and comment in the comment box. See you with confined space entry permit in the next episode. Thank you very much.